You do it. Let's do it. Oh, hey, hi, how are you? Wait, shit, wrong intro. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, screen friends. Damn, not again one. Uh, today in Warzone. No, can't do that one again. You know what? That's what we're gonna do. Fly in and see what happens. So actually, this whole video I'm pulling up now is really just going to be what I don't like about Warzone. And then compared to what I do like about uh, so we're gonna get this set up. Where's my little outline going? Okay.
Prep time's over. Now you deploy to the war
Alright. Welcome everybody to this version of Warzone Casual Solos. Probably going to be one of my last ones for a while. I've been playing this less and less and playing Fortnite more and more. And I'm about to tell you why. And why Fortnite has pretty much become my mainstream overall. Okay, first off, am I so zoomed in on that? I say, well, here.
Got a contract here.
And jump. So, the biggest thing is, one of the things I like about Warzone right now is I can cut my shoot after a while. Drop down and drop really, really low, open up my shoot again, and go again. So, yeah, there's that. And, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room here. I'm going to start off with addressing the most frustrating thing about Warzone right now. No one really wants to admit, no one wants to talk about. The cheaters. You're starting to see more and more. Man, this is going to make me sick. Gonna get my bounty target here. The biggest problem that I face in this anymore is one, cheating. I mean, how are some of you guys seeing me through the wall under an aircraft and you're hitting shots directly in the center of the forehead when that's happening? Kind of call BS, but hey, it is what it is, right? Now, how I look at cheating and how you look at cheating might be completely different. My view of cheating is fairly straightforward. If you're going to cheat, you're stealing my time. You're stealing my joy. You're stealing what I want. I want to be able to play the game fairly and not get my nuts kicked. Pretty simple? Okay. Pretty simple. I thought it was. Now.
Incoming grenade!
See? Bots are getting worse. That was a bot. And I just was not. I got flat-footed on that one. All there was to it. I have no excuse about that. That was a bot that just called me flat-footed. The biggest problem I have with Warzone right now is they're pulling these bad updates. I mean, last week they pulled the map rotation, removed solos out of regular BR, made it quads duos. There's currently not a trios mode anywhere to be found. And you come to casual, you have quads and solos, and that's it. So what does that do for the solo player? Brings them into casual. And especially if that's a sweaty solo casual, a sweaty solo player like normal, and it really makes the world a pain in the butt. That was a player. That was some Omni movement right there. So, my biggest thing, don't enjoy getting my face kicked in every match. You win a gulag, get your face kicked in, start a new one. You know, it just doesn't suit well. So there is. How did I hear that? Was a little closer than it needed to be, especially for it being a freaking bot. Who's near me? Anyone? No, no one. Okay, back to what I was saying. Another thing that kind of gripes me about this game is when they do an update, can they please not cause problems? Why do we have to take a step backwards every single update? Huh? Does anyone have an idea of why that is? Because it's getting really annoying. We do have an update. I shouldn't have to worry about whether or not my loadout is going to equip or not, or whether picking up that loadout is going to cause me to have my account locked out for 2 weeks. Launch of a game that I kind of make my bones on every night, or I did. So, that being said, there has been a shift in my content, as you all probably know. I've basically switched over to being a Fortnite main. That's why. Because you can't catch a guy off guard. That's a good example of desync and some of the issues that they're having with the servers. These servers can't keep up with what they're trying to do with them, and I don't know. They're Microsoft. They have the most powerful servers they could ever want. And you get a desync because you can't keep the network going properly. And I have a 20 ping. I'm sorry, I have a 37 ping right now. That's just kind of rude. Not to mention if you go on proc chat, which I was not on proc chat, you end up having a very toxic time. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear out of this one. Close this one. I have to swap users over to my other account. And load Fortnite. Now, before I go too far with that, here's the deal. The biggest problem with me in the toxicity in the proc chat, I get it is part of the game. I really, really do. I get that part of the game is proc chat and being slightly toxic. But there's nothing worse than playing Warzone, hearing a toxic player, and then you get wrecked by someone that you don't even know is there, and it's like they two-shot you, although they see it as a, you know, full-on 6-7 shot. They two-shot you, and that's all there is to it. You're down, you're in a gulag, or you're flat out, you're back to the lobby. And then and the entire time you're hearing them chatter in your ear. So this is no longer a matter of the get good, you know, neighborhood training regimen. It is dealing with, you know, you're gonna have third parties. Yes, you're gonna have that. You're gonna have it all the time. My biggest complaint is when you play Warzone, there is something that happens in a match that switch flips. No matter how good of a mood you are in, no matter how much fun you're having, you will be raging by the end of the time you're done. You will, at one point or another, in one spot or another, you will rage. It's a given. So the next question I have, or the next question I have, why do you want to rage when you game? Huh? Why do you want to do that? Let's stop doing that. Play a game that you enjoy. I'm playing Fortnite. I play Fortnite because it's a fun game. I enjoy it. So let's go with this for a minute. Okay. Thank us, driver. And I'm out the door. There's a little spot down here. You usually get quite a bit of good stuff. Hard part is getting low enough to the ground, being one of the first ones to touch the ground on there. So, it seems to me when I play, whether it's Resurgence, whether it's Battle Royale, Casuals, Blunder, yes, I'm moving it to my voice. No matter what it is, I am at a point where I don't want to fight the game. Yes, I want to compete against players, but this shouldn't be that big of a deal. We shouldn't be fighting this tooth and nail to try and get something done. Be able to try and find anything. Usually good loot patterns could a pool of loot and lots of opportunities for you to grab things you need to grab. Go find an overpowered item at one time or another. Because there's so many overpowered items in here. You know, at what point is Dead-Eye DMR? That thing is just vicious. If you're hitting your shots with it, it is literally vicious. Get shown this plays by one of the other content creators, called Jake. Giving credit where credit is due. He did show me, I did see this in one of his videos, and I've been using it the last couple of rounds, depending on how far it is back. I'll be here. Bye-bye. Yes, I will hide. Yes, I will pull that out for so long. Okay. So, everything else I've said, take a look at us all here for a second. Right? So, Yeah, blue demon. Ooh. Go take care of this and then get some stuff. Not that far away. It's a small one. Well, I'm shooting actually right behind me. And here's the other thing. A lot of people, a lot of you guys are going to say we don't want to play Fortnite because it's a kids game. I would challenge you on that one. If you're coming from Warzone, if you're going to be a Warzone refugee like myself, I would suggest trying to play Zero Build. Zero Build has a oh. All of that. Let's try. I give credit where credit's due. Or myself. Yeah, I'm having more fun. Enjoying my time playing. They've been running around way too much on empty. I'm enjoying my time more playing Fortnite than anything else. And to say it's a kid's game because that's what you want to call it, it's kind of disingenuous. It's the best way I know how to put it. Ooh, he died on the way down. I mean, I'm not ashamed. I will scrub up somebody leftovers. Okay. Let's see if I can catch this guy off guard. Okay, well, this is one I have to go with. Okay, so let's just go ahead and kind of start wrapping some of this up and we can talk about it. And, you know, when I say talk about it, I mean, let's talk about the comments. So what can we do differently? You know, what would you like to see me do differently? What would you like to see? I mean, I know that I'd like to win a little bit more. So, I mean, what more would you like to see out of me, content-wise? I've moved from basically a Warzone main into being a Fortnite main. I would say, if you're in Fortnite, if you were a Warzone player, you come over here over to Fortnite, it's going to take you a minute to get used to it. Then when you go back to Warzone, it's going to be even weirder. So let's just put that out there right now. I don't think you're going to have as much of a hard time as what you think. Mainly because it's just... You're playing zero build is much more fun than what you realize. Because you're not having to deal with all the build stuff. If you have a gun that's overpowered, you have to find another one that can counter it. All the guns will definitely be more for your individual use. So, I mean, that's all there is to that one. There we go. Now I'm kind of getting on a roll. Use a little health, but I'm not doing too bad. We got one here. Gloves. Let's see. Okay. Dang it, how did you... Okay. Still 13th place, several kills, several eliminations. I don't know how he beat me on that one. He's actually beating him pretty hard, so... Alright, basically what I'm going to say is this. There's pros and cons to playing both games. Warzone, very much fast-paced. Much more fast-paced, I should say. You can go quiet now. Okay. Warzone. Fast-paced. It's very much fast-paced, but it also depends on the mode and it depends on who's playing and how they're playing, right? So let's not, that's not that big of a deal. The I think the biggest thing is there's not the toxicity of prox chat. You don't hear each other talking. You can't talk to each other unless you join in a match to each other. And then you look at the difference between the shops, okay? I mean, let's take a look at some of these. They put some effort into it and they're nice. They're good quality skins. But you notice one thing you're not doing. You're not getting weapons. You're getting wraps for weapons because there's only certain weapons that are in the game and that's all there is. There's not a loadout. Not really. So you can have the skins that you want, nice looking vehicles to move around in. You know, Cleveland, Bob's Burgers, and Kill. An assortment of shoes. The thing is, I'll just put it this way. Fortnite doesn't take itself seriously. However, they take their gameplay extremely seriously. So, what I would say to anybody that is thinking about jumping off of Warzone and moving to another game, whether it's Fortnite or Splitgate or heck, even just getting away from PvP games in general and going to play something different like Division 2 or Destiny 2 or Warframe or something like that. I think it's much more, if that's what you find fun and that's where you're going to take your value from, go play it. Don't hang around a game that doesn't respect your time by not getting rid of cheaters. Oh, but Ricochet isn't anything. They're taking zero serious steps to rid the game of cheaters. Fortnite, Fortnite is doing a very decent job of keeping the cheaters at minimum. Right? They're not trying to slam. They're not trying to say, "Oh, they did this, they did that." They do everything they do is very quiet in the back. And if they find a cheat company that's here in the United States or somewhere that they can reach legally, dude, they take them on legally and take care of the problem, right? So the biggest problem with let's compare the differences of Fortnite and Warzone. Every update for Fortnite is an event. It's everybody looks forward to it. I mean, their streamers have countdowns to the event or to the update coming live. Come on, you've got Cypher PK, Nick A30, Typical Gamer. You've got all of you get the big four right there, throwing a timer up in their stream so you can see when that next event or that next update goes live. Okay, you don't have server instability like you do in Warzone, where you've got massive desync all the time. You're only seeing like one or two shots here or there. You don't have lag spikes where you rubber band back and forth for 5 minutes in the middle of a match. And I will say I have had that happen one time, and that was just a couple of nights ago here on Fortnite. Luckily, it wasn't in a ranked match, and it wasn't. I mean, didn't have anybody around, but still, that is something that is happening that you need to take into account. Also, when they put out an update here in Fortnite, when they put out the update, you can almost bet that everything is going to work exceptionally well. But when Call of Duty Warzone puts out an update, you don't know what's going to be broke. Dude, I remember when Black Ops 6 released and the Warzone integration released 2 weeks later. You know what my biggest problem was? I had another 2 weeks before my account was fixed. I couldn't log into my account. I had the looping black screen. So I haven't had those kinds of issues. I've had like a couple of hours here and there where I couldn't log into Fortnite where they were having matchmaking issues. But that's not a big deal. They communicate that through X, Twitter, Facebook, all those places that they actually communicate it from. The cheating problem. Dude, the cheating problem in Fortnite is near minimal. I had a couple tonight on stream that were very sus. One of them, it's not even sus. They were able to track headshots in on someone in the car as they were driving erratically, and they never lost lock on them. Come on, that's a little suspicious. Um, the other thing that I find, in the anti-cheat for Warzone is it's a freaking fishnet. I mean, you can get more through it than in it. You're not going to catch anything. You're not. People aren't afraid, and then they come back and they can make a new account inside of 30 seconds. The cheat providers are providing the accounts. All they have to do is spin a new one up, attach it to an email, and go for it. What's so hard about that? Oh, one gets banned, they're right back on it, and in 30 seconds they're back in another match. It's kind of ridiculous. So part of that, and like I said, you just watched me play my first Warzone match, and I don't know how long. Um, season three, the season we go back to Verdansk, which I shouldn't really say that I go back to Verdansk. I didn't play during the original OG Verdansk. Sorry, I just didn't. Um, that is the first battle pass that I haven't completed in 3.5 years. I didn't want to. I didn't care. I was so mad at the game. I didn't care. So and luckily one of my friends is like, "Hey, why don't we come play Fortnite?" Fine. I'll download it. It's a kid's game. How bad can it be? I said, I'm not doing the build. I won't do build mode. Not at all. Like, no, no, no. We play zero build all the time. And let me tell you what, zero build is absolutely some of the most fun battle royale experiences I've had. They're fun. They're engaging. You can get from place to place, and you have time. Most of the time, you have times to figure out how you want to play certain areas. Oh, hey, you see the visual audio off on the side? Let's just go turn and go to it and find out what happens. Be a third party. Let's take care of a couple people on that third party, like I did earlier. All that to say, I'm gonna stick with Fortnite as my main and play Warzone occasionally if they bring back a solo mode back to BR. That way it splits casual and BR, and the sweats can go back into regular BR. If not, I'm gonna ask you guys to join me on basically making my way back, making on this journey of me doing what I can to become a Fortnite main. And actually, I'm trying to get to the support creator stage. So if you guys can drop a sub, a like on the stream or on the stream, you can tell I'm used to streaming. Drop a like on the video, hit the subscribe button, hang around for a while, and let me show you I'm trying to do my best to improve. I'm gonna try and put out 1 to 2 videos a week of kind of content like this, and then a couple of videos a week of where I'm doing zero to hero or unranked to unreal. I have yet to ever get past platinum, but I've only played 1 season of ranked, so I'm still learning that boundaries. Um, honestly, thank you for swinging by. The message that I have for y'all tonight: if you can go and support Doc a little bit, a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there, would be awesome. But I want to ask that you come around, hang around, see what's going on. Let's not be in a toxic environment. Let's not be a toxic community at all. I just want us to have fun, chill out, enjoy video gaming, and see what's going on. I hope you guys come back and hang out with me for some more insights, see some more gameplay, see why I think Fortnite is much more fun this season. Season 3 Supers is absolutely, it's on fire. I love it. I mean, and it seems to be the same sentiment from all big streamers. this version of it is it. So, in all seriousness, my last little bit, remember this. And I honestly, I want you guys to think about this on a daily basis. All right. What I am, it is, here, let me go big screen just so you can hear me. It is June. It's Men's Mental Health Month. It is so hard for certain guys, vets especially if they've come back from war. We don't know how to fit in. I did not go to war, but I did things in the service where it really affected me. It really is a challenge for some people, especially for some men, to face the day to day. What I would suggest is you go to somebody who you know is a vet or who you think might be struggling. And even if you don't think they're struggling, go up and talk to them. Just look them in the face and tell them, dude, I don't know what you've got going on. I don't know where you're at, but I'm glad you're here. The world is a better place with you in it. Think about that. How many times can that help someone else who's thinking about not being in it? With that, I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for swinging in. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. The conversation is going to be going. What can I do differently? How can I improve? What do you want to see from me? I'm going to be doing a series on the unranked to Unreal, and I'm going to do that when Reload resets again. I'll start unranked to Unreal. All right, take it easy, and I'll talk at you all later.